VTubers are being replaced by artificial intelligence. With this new piece of technology, a new one, and sound like your favorite waifu, VTubers ride the line between anime and reality, between degeneracy and normality. In a sense, they are anime incarnate, they are waifu incarnate. And to understand such a complex phenomenon, we must break them down into their individual components. So we have their personality, their model, and their voice. Now, of course, their personality has to be engaging and entertaining, otherwise no one's gonna watch them, right? Then we have their model. Now, I don't believe their model has to be like too complicated, as long as it looks like cute. And finally, we have their voice. The voice is perhaps the most intimate part of a VTuber. Why? Because their voice is the only bridge back to reality. It is the only stimuli that comes directly from a human being. Now, what if I told you that bridge can be burned? What you're listening to is not a human being. No. It is an artificial intelligence program mimicking my voice in real time. Well, you probably already knew that because it isn't very good right now, you know. That's a bit scuffed, but I don't think it matters all that much, you know. As long as it's passable, which I think it just barely is, I don't think it matters. And if you want to know how I'm doing this, stick around until the end, and I will show you. So then the question arises, is it possible to VTube with an artificial intelligence voice? Now, I know what you're thinking, right? So why even bother using a voice changer? Like, anyone can be a VTuber. They don't have to have a cute anime kawaii voice. You could just be yourself, and it'll just be fine. Will it? Allow me to introduce to you a theory of cuteness relativity. The theory states the potential of a VTuber directly correlates with their cuteness. I call this the cuteness factor, or the cuteness scale, if you will. Let me explain the factors that contribute to the cuteness scale. So I've already said that the components of a VTuber broken up into their personality, their model, and their voice. It's like kind of like a cumulative effect of all three of these working together at once. Now, this list isn't like a ranking of VTubers. It's like a ranking of VTuber type. So I hate putting them this low on a list, but you know, everyone knows it. Everyone knows that male VTubers are simply underappreciated, okay? And you know, it's not their fault. See, the simple fact of the matter is that VTuber fans are primarily male. And if you go back to my theory of cuteness relativity, or the cuteness factor, they only have their personality and their content to work with. So only so many guys are gonna find their voice or their model to be cute. Therefore, they're working with a handicap, and thus their maximum potential growth is limited. This may be a little controversial, okay? But you know what? This is my opinion. This is my video, so I'm gonna say it. I put femboys in their own separate category because I think femboy VTubers are simply rank higher on the cuteness scale. I think they have a more appealing voice, and I think their models are more appealing. But you know, this is just like a matter of personal preference. So you know, they rank above the males. They rank higher on the cuteness scale. The next type of VTubers are going to be... I just spent a few minutes looking up how to pronounce that word, and I cannot find a single thing. So I'm gonna call it Babaniku. So they're actually a pretty interesting category, and I think right now they are perhaps the most slept on type of VTubers in the West. So let me explain what they are real fast. But basically, it's like it's a guy performing with a female model, and I believe they act with a female personality as well. And it's pretty popular in Japan, but it has yet to get popular in the West. But I think it has incredible potential. You know, we just aren't there yet as a society. We haven't reached that far into degeneracy to really appreciate the Babaniku VTubers. So rank them on the cuteness scale. They have the model. They have their personality. The only thing they're really missing is their voice, because most of them do use their natural voices, which unfortunately lowers them on the cuteness scale, and thus their max potential for growth is hindered. Okay, so moving on to the next category, we have perhaps the most interesting type of VTuber on this list. It's the TTS VTubers. Now, TTS stands for text-to-speech. So basically, instead of using their real voice, they use a program where they type in something, and the program says whatever they type in. Now, the reason why they're so interesting is because they lend credence to my theory that it doesn't matter if a voice isn't real. All that matters is that it sounds good enough. They are the predecessors to the AI voiced VTubers. Now, ranking them on a cuteness scale, you know, they have all three elements met. They have their personality, they have the content, they have the model, and they have the voice. The only issue is that the natural voice is simply much more capable. Therefore, growth is limited. And then, of course, at the top of the list, we have a traditional VTuber, you know. In terms of the cuteness scale, they max it out. So they have the cute personality, they have the good content, they have a cute model, and of course, they have a real, authentic, cute anime girl voice. And thus, they rank at the top of the cuteness scale, meaning that they have the highest potential for growth. And so far, nothing can replace that authenticity yet. Okay, so now let's talk about AI voiced YouTubers. Now, this is an interesting category because there simply aren't, as far as I know, any AI voiced VTubers. Or at least not any popular ones. Main reason is because the technology simply isn't there yet. It doesn't have the same naturalness as a real voice. But as long as they have good personality, they have good content, and as long as they have a good model, they also have the cute voice that I think is just passable enough. So ranking them, I would put them right here. Now, of course, right now, the technology is still in its infancy, right? It still has a long way to go. And in fact, I think that right now, it is just barely passable. We are just barely over that threshold for it to be listenable. This technology is at the worst it will ever be, and it only has room to grow. It is not good enough to fool anyone. It's definitely a thing you have to fully embrace. I think that's where the AI voiced VTubers lie in terms of their potential, at least according to my cuteness factor theory. I hope I don't sound too bad. So with this channel, what I hope to achieve is to see how far a VTuber can get with an AI generated voice, because I think it does have potential. And you know, worst case scenario, it'd be a fun project. So in the meantime, I do have one other video planned, but I don't know when I'm gonna get around to it. I do plan on making shorts though, because you know, they should be easier to make, I hope. So about the program I'm using to do this, I'm sure you guys are curious about it. It is called W. Okada's Voice Changer. So I am by no means an expert at this, okay? And if you want to learn more, you should watch this video. This video is where I learned how to do it. He's actually the one who gave me the idea to start this entire project. So he probably declared on one of his Q&As that a VTuber using an AI voice wouldn't work. And I want to prove him wrong. I'll leave a link to both the voice changer and the video in the description box below. That way you guys can check it out. So if you think this whole entire concept of AI VTubing and AI voices is interesting, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. And if you don't like it, and it scares you, and the future is scary, and technology is scary, I completely understand. In that case, you should especially like and subscribe. That way you can keep tabs on me. You can see how far this technology is progressing. That way you can prepare for the inevitable future in which AI takes over the world. And last but not least, thank you for watching.